All right, welcome back, guys. Here is my week 3 summary. I've been trying to document what I'm doing in RTA so that I can get better and hopefully share some insight with other people if they find this useful, and maybe it'll help them get better as well. So, week 3 went really well. I played 19 matches. I went 13-6 for a win rate of 68%. Not bad. What I found interesting about this week is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I played every day, which I haven't done in a while. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that's kind of nice to play every day. Like previous weeks, I played 3 total days. Like, I think it's probably a good habit to get into of at least playing one match a day so that you don't completely forget what you were up to. Like you're not just picking random monsters. You kind of stick with the same overall theme. You still kind of have in your mind what worked and what didn't work. So I'm gonna try to do that more, even if it's just a match. You can see the last couple days, match, 2 matches, something like that. Not too big a deal. So out of a possible 30 times 7, 210 wings, I played 19. So a little under 10%. And I had fun doing it all, which I think is important. I think playing more wings than is fun is not worth the extra aura if you go from C2 to C3 but you're miserable, or even the skin, if you grind 300 stressful hours to get the skin, and it just depends on how important it is to you. I think play while you're having fun is kind of what I go by. Start of the week, first 2 days, I played the most matches of the week, 6 matches each day, and it was very even Steven, 3-3 both days. Interestingly, my losses were sort of top-loaded in both days, and then towards the end, I picked up with a couple wins to finish. I feel like sometimes I do that. I start slow, and I'm not reading the opponent correctly, or I'm not quite counterpicking right. A couple notes I made up here is these first 2 matches I faced a G3 player, Jester, and I had him kind of close the first match with the Yanhong Verd Diana, and I was doing well, and then he had the Water on Miyoji, and it just wrecked me at the end. Like, I was up on units and just got destroyed. I kind of don't respect that unit, I think, the way I should, especially when it's picked into Seara, which is quite often. That's a pretty good counterpick to Seara. It's kind of like a Rika. It will, given enough time, completely mess you up. So you got to treat it as such. Like, I left it towards my 3rd kill target, and I probably should have focused it, because the other things there were things like Chung Pung, Poseidon, that sort of thing, AoE control. But no, I should have focused the Water on Miyoji. It just is devastating in the end game. So, lesson learned there. And then I faced him again, and I lost way worse. He had Nana the first time, and I think I had to ban it. So then I picked Nana the second time, and then I lost worse. So I think that makes sense, though, because Nana is countered by crowd control, right? If you can prevent the Nana team from taking turns, which all he had to do is stop the Verd, which he did, you stop the Nana team from taking turns, and you have enough time to deal with Nana plus an extra 0.6 of a monster. So he played really well that time. So after those 2 matches, I was like, well, he's way outranks me, outrunes me. It was nice to be close, but I don't know that I'll be that close to a G3 winning. It's just not going to happen. Then I won one. Then I lost to a Cleave, which was sad. I picked Seara, Juno, Verd, Sehkmet, VA was Varisa, I believe. I don't think so. Yeah. VA. Vanessa, yeah. So Vanessa, so I was like, oh, I'll just revive and it'll be fine. I've got the Seara Vanessa speed lead. But what did I have other than that? Nothing else that cared about turn 1, right? Like, this is all Sehkmet, as I believe, his banned, because that was the only thing that threatened speed. And since I didn't threaten speed, he just wrecked me down. It was a double pony cleave, and sort of hard to diagnose as it was coming out. And then by the time I knew it was a cleave, I had few picks left to deal with the cleave. The Juno pick in particular, I think, was pretty poor. Verd pick, not bad, because it can revenge. But I messed that one up big time, so I was like, oh, well, I messed that one up. Then I finished on a couple wins. The theme of the week was Seara. Seara was picked a ton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of my 19. I think that's one thing I've learned. Like, I want to always be building on my knowledge set and trying to get better and better from week to week in the season. Like, each season's a little different, and so I feel like you have to sort of solve the puzzle again for the current season you're playing in. So for me, I think Seara is back. Seara didn't get played a lot last season for me, and I think Seara is sort of solving a lot of my problems. It's giving me options against turn 1. It's giving me options against cleave. It's working out really well. So I'm really happy with the Seara. I'm going to get more and more of the Seara in there. Obviously, the Nana is quite prevalent as well. So I'd played Nana 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of the 19. That's a lot. And Nana performs really quite well. Like, So that's been going well. But I'm either facing Nana or playing Nana, which is kind of like where Jogan was at. So if her win rate stays as the top of the pack, I anticipate some sort of nerf. Like, I don't think Summoner's War wants their number one performing unit to be a blue reviver. I don't think that's the look. I think they want it to be an LD Nat 5. I think that makes a lot of sense, you know. It's the rare chase monster. So we'll see. There is some counterplay to Nana, but you better lock it in quickly, and it doesn't jive as well with what some teams are trying to do. You know, like, there's really no great Nana counterplay in a cleave. I mean, there's some things that anti-revive, but it's like, it's got to go just right. I still think the best Nana counterplay is the AoE control. I think that's something you can play against Nana or without Nana, and it works either way. That's what I struggle with the most when I put in Nana. Like, I don't really struggle as much. I mean, I'll lose, but like to the Mephisto users or people that are trying to shut it down that way. Not as much of a threat as AoE control, just because Mephisto and those things I feel like don't fit in as well into those teams. So anyway, a little insight there. The next day, kind of stuck with it again. Yanhong, a couple Diana losses. Diana was sort of on my downgrade this week. And then I played one game on the 27th, which was Seara, Sehkmet, Yanhong, Nana, Han. And I'm like, this feels like my bread and butter for the season. So I gave it the green highlighter. I'm like, this feels like what I want to do. I want to be fast with Seara, Sehkmet, Yanhong, and then Nana, Han feels about right. Nana, Han in particular is great because Han is great at deleting, and Nana makes deleting better. So whenever I want to play Nana, I want to play Han and then one other threat. In this case, it's Seara. So that's kind of a team I want to play. Then the next day I won two very kind of similar matches in a weird way. This was sort of my typical like anti-AoE with Verd Diana with the Sehkmet as well. And then the next one was a Wusa Molly as my healers, no Yanhong, which that worked kind of okay as well. Molly is similar in anti-cleave, which works okay. Then had a nice little Molong match here. Another Molong match. Seara, Nana, Han, Diana, Yanhong went well. And then a Wusa match today to end the day. It was this is what I'm starting to see as my anti-carnal. Nana, Wusa as my anti-carnal picks. So I went Nana, Wusa, Juno, Sehkmet, Diana. They banned the Juno. The Sehkmet missed the strip on the Chungpung, and the Diana was able to still clean up anyway, even with the Sehkmet miss. Like, Sehkmet did nothing, and I was getting carnal Chungpunged, and the Sehkmet missed, but it still worked out because of the Diana. So here's my stats on my monsters for the season, not just for the week. You can see Han 64%, Yanhong 64%, Nana 66%, Molly 63%, very nice. Seara doing great. I think Seara's like really, really good for me. 73%. Sehkmet also 72%. So when I play those two, I'm either picking them correctly or they're just working well when I pick them. The ones that are interesting are the Antares, Icarus, Molong. Look at this little combo. Whenever I drop an Antares, 88%, Molong 70%, Antares, and Icarus 83%. So really good. Lulu still bad, 42% for me. Juno haven't had a lot of success, 50%. The other one that is interesting is the Wusa, which I don't see it. There he is. He's 6-0. I've not lost with Wusa. I've only picked him 6 times, but apparently that's going well. So, I mean, that's really something to look out for. The only reason I was able to win that match today is the Wusa damage plus Diana. It just wrecked. I think he had a Tyrone, and it just wrecked it, you know? So that's something I really want to keep in mind, the Wusa, as something for the future. Up here, when I'm looking at their first pick and my first pick still going well. I've switched to Seara because you can see my Yanhong was 7-4. Molly 3-0. Nana 2-2. I think if you drop Nana first, they start on you. They start figuring out the counters right away. You drop Nana like the middle two, and sometimes it's too late for them. So no more Nana first pick. No more Yanhong first pick. We talked about that last week. Went 7-4. Seara though 10-3. So I think Seara that's my first pick. That's super, super solid. Working well for me. And then what I'm doing up here is this is their first pick. I don't know if this is accurate, but I'm trying to settle into what I pick every time against someone else's first pick. I don't want my brain to not be working and they lay something down and I'm like, what do I do? Like, it's predictable. I should have a plan for every meta monster and it should be tested through, fights, right? I should have data on how I play against certain first picks, and that's what I'm trying to gather so that there's no ambiguity. I just look over here if I don't have it memorized and I play what I play. And it might not always win, but it has my best chance to win. So you can see with Carnal, I've tried a lot of things. I tried Lulu Molong 0-1, Lulu Nana 0-1, Lulu Molly. I thought Lulu was the way because that was the way last season, but not as much. Sierra Wusa 1-0, and Nana Wusa 2-0. So I'm going to drop Wusa on every single Cardinal. I think it works really well because Cardinal needs a strip to do anything, and Wusa, if he doesn't bring a strip, Wusa wins against Cardinal. So he'll have to bring a strip, which might mess up his comp. It'll usually be a Chung Pong or an Oracle, something like that. Every once it'll be something weird, but that's usually what it'll be. And then the Nana, I believe, if someone's dropping a Cardinal, there's a pretty good chance they want to drop a Nana as well, because Cardinal and Nana work really well together. So I want to deny him that, and it just puts me in a better spot. I can pivot off of that. Probably going to face a Diana, but probably that's why I've been able to drop the Antares pretty effectively, because Nana Wusa, that you feel like you're going to see a Diana. So yeah, so that is my go-to unless something changes. It's only 2-0, but I'm going to keep pressing that button. Bastet, if they drop Bastet first, that's a cleave. I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm going to go Seara Sehkmet. Speed lead, fast cleave denier, right? That I think is easy mode. We'll lock that in, and then I need to go into what I want to do after that on cleave. So far, Seara, Yanhong Han, meh. It's just LDs. There's probably something better to do there, but it's he's not really giving his cards away, right? So I feel like I don't want to give my cards away. So that's kind of my plan there. Everything else still in work in progress. Maybe the Molong. Yanhong Han as well, 2-0, but I'm not really sold on that. So anyway, that is the summary for the week. We climbed from 1562 to 1630. Pretty solid. What, about 70 points? And we're in the Guardian range. We don't have 1,700 points yet. We're at like 28. I think I wrote it down. Yeah, 2816 is what we ended at. Probably need to drop a few more wings to get in the upper end of that range so that I don't just get beaten down and fall really quickly. Like I want to have some wiggle room up at the top. But I don't know if I'll be able to play that many wings because I haven't yet, so why would I now? But anyway, that's a whole lot of stuff about what's going on this season and just kind of my week 3 update. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.